Hi guys, FrostFangs here, welcome back once again, of course, to another Paladins video. We're going to be playing some Corvus today, even though it's kind of harsh and I probably used it as the video title. At this point, I would kind of consider him, at least for me, as replaced. That does sound like a lot, and of course I'll try and get into it over the course of this video, but I'd love to hear from you down in the comments what your thoughts are on him at the moment. Even though he's not really changed very much from his initial release, he's very, very similar, more so than I think a lot of other characters we've had. But yeah, I'd like to hear where you think he is at the moment and how you feel about him. Because yeah, at least for me, when I compare him to the rest of the roster, he has fallen behind a bit. I feel like when he released, the position he was in was sort of equal to the rest of the supports. He wasn't massively behind, whereas now, when I look at what he's trying to do, a lot of other healers do it much more effectively. For example, Genos after the recent buffs. But don't get me wrong, he does still have some really unique parts to his kit, and meta-wise, he's still doing fine. I wouldn't say he's insanely under the others. It's just for me, I feel like I would do better on other supports because the unique parts to his kit are kind of the bit with his F, the marking sort of system, the insane range heal is kind of the big one, as well as his ultimate, which I like quite a bit. But talent-wise, he's always had a bit of a iffy time. Dark Gift, Spreading Influence kind of gone back and forth depending on buffs and nerfs and the meta and stuff. But the damage side of Corvus never really succeeded and has always been, yeah, just a bit jank. He isn't getting any changes in the next update, but he is getting a set of skins, which I've already obviously shown you, but the Count skin to me feels a very similar role, and I think I like this one a little bit more. For some reason his rotate is bugged, by the way. I don't know if I've mentioned this in another video, but yeah, he is one of the only characters, I think, there might be somebody else as well, but he just rotates like this for some reason. But build-wise, just like his kit, it's been the same for a really long time. They've nerfed and moved some of the cards around. Grand Design was just insane from like day one. And even after the nerf, I still run it. I see it all the time. Shadow Tribunal is also really good. And then sometimes, depending on the team, you want to add a little bit of a speed buff in there. But I've run the same things with Corvus since he came out, pretty much. I've tried to do damage. I've tried a bunch of variations of it, of course, but this is pretty much always what I come back to, at least, you know, something close to this. But shouts to our Buck, our Fernando, and our Victor. We've also got at the end there as well. That's 3 out of 4. Shouts to a lot of them. It's always nice seeing you guys in game. Of course, we're up against the Lex, Genos, Thean, Tyra, and Ash. Siege, Fish Market. Gonna go for Spreading Influence and the standard setup. We are a solo healer here, so it's kind of the best scenario for Corvus. He does work well as like a secondary supplemental healer. I actually kind of prefer him in that role, but he is sort of designed, I feel like, to be a main one. I'm expecting to have a bit of a tough time here, though. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, Corvus for me feels a little bit rough at the moment. We've got Alacrity, Burst Mode, Bounce House, Aegis, Eminence, Fortress Breaker, Hunting Body, Luminary, and Heroism. We're going to try and focus up here and get some good heals. Buck already did die, but that's because they kind of pushed really hard on left side. Heal there on the Liam. We're going to just teleport back, play it safe here, get one on the Victor. Never mind, they're just super pushed up. Okay, I feel like this is a pretty rough map for Corvus because you do want to obviously be stuck with a friendly, and this doesn't really lend itself to that very well. We'll just throw a heal, keep the mark, teleport to that. I was waiting for the mark to wear out, but that didn't happen. Q over there for the Lian. I did run the shield on the Q for a little bit, but it isn't worth running over the other cards. There is the 0-1, just trying to heal everybody up here, and I'm actually having a bit of a hard time. Sort of what I talked about in the Genos video is that he's really, really good now at keeping pretty much everyone in your team up full without putting in too much effort. For Corvus, he does a very similar thing to Genos, and a little bit less effectively, as you can sort of see here. I'm having a bit of a hard time. I feel like I'm doing a pretty rough job here of explaining, but if you play a lot of supports, I think you'll kind of get what I mean just from feel alone. He just doesn't feel as impactful as a lot of the other options, but definitely let me know, especially if you disagree with me, and if you play a lot of Corvus, I'd love to hear from you. We'll go over this way, we'll right click. It seems like we were able to defend it. I do try and mix in a bit of damage with Corvus. His output's actually fine at even like a medium range, to be honest, but just the SMG doesn't feel that great. Although after the inaccuracy nerfs, it does feel quite a bit better. The spread on it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad. I still just don't like his weapon that much. Hello, Ash. We're going to do that. I did pop F there as quick as I could. There we go. There's the 0-2. We've all got ults except for the Buck. I don't feel like I'm doing a terrible job here on heals. I feel like with Corvus, you'll often end up with more of a number than you might, you know, feel like you've had during the game, again, just because feel-wise, like I sort of said, he doesn't feel amazing to play, even though his healing output is pretty good. If you compare it to a lot of the other healers, just impact-wise, doesn't feel like you're making as much of a difference. I'm going to try and stick with the team. I do need to have one person with me here to actually do anything, really. So that's a Genos ult that I just walked into, as did 3 other teammates. Okay, we're all out. Jesus Christ. Being able to heal back in like positions where he's jumping in really far is like a thing that not many other healers can really do, but it's just the healing number you're giving them. The life rib you give them from the card's kind of nice. Just the other stuff, speed buff if you run it, but just actual raw output wise, when you're trying to get people up from not being dead, it's kind of tough. And also the ghost right click is really goddamn annoying. I think I'm just dead here, right? But there we go, there is the defeat. I think I would have ended up with more healing in that one if I was on a different support, and we maybe would have got a point in our favor, but it probably still would have been a defeat. And we didn't do terribly there on Corvus, but I definitely felt the shortcomings, and maybe that would have come across in the video. Overall, though, a pretty good game, even though it was a 0-4. Shouts to a bunch of people in that one, although I do kind of want to point out that there are some spots where I've seen him shine, and personally I've experienced as sort of a secondary healer on some of the larger maps and some of the team comps. It can work really, really well having that crazy range heal and some of the other buffs you can give, and yeah, hopefully you get what I mean by what I'm trying to say here. For game 2, we're on Marauder's Port. Shoutouts to our Buck, by the way. I feel like I've been seeing a bunch of you guys in game recently, which, like I said, is always very nice. We've also got a Torvald, Furia, and Kinessa. A bit of scenario, I think, here, just for that Furia extra heal going on. Gonna go for the same build, though, and we're up against Relentless Presence, Unfinished Business, Show, Full Strike Current, and Deep Roots. We got Bulk Up, Thanks Grandpa Cherish, and Oppression. Very interesting selection of talents here. We've got a lot of tankiness going on. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for the double mark and should have gone for the other one, Dark Gifts, just to get a little bit more utility. Do we go in here with the Buck? I feel like we should try and do summon. Okay, Nessa Mine's also providing some support. Vora over there did have some heals with the mark just going about. We'll get some shots on him there, some pretty heavy headshots. Like I said, damage wise you're actually doing fine. If you look at his raw stats, I think that honestly they're not bad. I think healing and damage wise, I don't think, like if you're actually just raw looking at the data, probably not that bad. I kind of describe it as field wise he's just a little bit rough, but stats wise he's probably fine. I could be wrong with that. I haven't actually directly looked and compared stuff, but we'll blink over back here, play it kind of safe. I don't know how we're not able to hold this, but I guess they got the double tank, and Kinessa doesn't seem to be firing very much. He does seem to be throwing out the mines quite a lot, but I'm just focused on heals here. I could be doing a better job if I was hybriding a little bit, maybe like mixing in some shots and maybe pushing up every now and again, because you can play kind of aggressively with him. If you want to try and do summon, we'll get behind the Grover. Shots, gonna go for the ult here, throw that down just on the Torvald. I don't know if I really needed to. We're gonna get some shots on Kazumi, go back, right click, there we go. That's why I run the self heal in the build a lot of time, is because you can make slightly more aggressive plays, especially early on before cauterizes up. You can definitely entry a little bit. You don't really want to be the first person jumping in as a Corvus, especially if it doesn't go well, because then you have literally no escape. Your F is your escape. That's a fear from Kazumi, which I didn't react to. We'll go back here, right click Kinessa, Q over there for the Furia. Buck ulted, she's just sitting in the middle, got heals up there on the Buck and the Torvald down here. I'm definitely having weird lag today. It feels like frame rate and like server side stuff. I don't know really what's going on. That's a Kazumi. Oh, we'll dodge that, right click for him. There we go, she's gone. Heals on Torvald. I can't buy items because it isn't King of the Hill. I'm also just healing the Buck this entire time while I'm focused on him. Single target heal wise he does fine because of the mark, obviously reducing the cooldown and everything. And if you go for this setup you can get heals on another person, so technically he feels like he does quite well at single target and multi-target healing. And that's why I sort of mean with on paper he's probably, you know, not coming across as anything wrong with him, but just when you're playing him it just doesn't feel great for some reason. That's the ult from Torvald. Ult from the enemy Nyx will go over here. I don't know how I didn't die there. I think that was just Torvald absolutely clutching it up. We sort of shredded there. Buck is also doing a really, really good job. Props to him, honestly, he's doing work. Do like the F-ult combo, feels pretty good. That was a Furia ult, or stun I mean, plus my ult, that's what I was trying to say. We'll shred through it, there we go. Trying to actually not do a terrible job here aim-wise, but I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. I suppose that is one thing that I can give him, is that he is pretty easy to play. You kind of just look at friendly, roughly in the general direction, right-click him, throw your marks out, don't die. It's pretty straightforward. Stabby's one of the easiest supports I'm supposed to play. Does have a kind of high skill ceiling, but it doesn't feel like it takes so much effort to get like above average heals with him. That doesn't sound like a compliment, but that's what I was trying to go for. We'll get shots here on the Kazumi, more heals. I'm trying to play an angle here where I am doing a little bit of damage because I feel like it's going to kind of matter in this one. We've got full Chronos. I feel like I'm actually pretty effective here heal wise. We haven't really died very much either. This is a better map for him for sure. I like this one more than the last one we had. Torvald going for the ult. I could pop mine here. I guess we'll throw it there just to annoy the Grover, stop the other guy from pushing back. He's just going to try and walk away. Okay, Q over there for Buck. That was a really slow reaction from me. We did keep him up though. I feel like he really does synergize with your team though. If you're playing with like a duo or you're playing in a group of 3, it honestly is pretty good if you're actually just doing combos, pushing it at the same time, throwing heals and paying attention and stuff. But solo play with him can definitely be a little bit disjointed. Again, trying to give Corvus 2 compliments here because I definitely don't want this video to be overly negative, because it doesn't need to be. There's a lot of positive things about Corvus, and even if I am criticizing him, it's in a pretty light way. I feel like Grover's gone, getting some good damage here. There's a heal on Torvald, he's out. Just throwing some more right clicks, but their burst is too much. Kinessa, I don't know exactly what she's trying to do. We're just going to bait the F. I tried to do something. I feel like we are getting shredded a little bit in this one. I'm doing pretty good on heals though, and we have got full nimble, full chrono, so that's to be expected. We're moving around quite a bit. The ultimate I haven't really used as much as I'd have liked to. I guess we can finally throw one there. As a team though here, I don't think we're working that well together. I'm trying to right click as much as possible, and I still don't feel like I have it up enough. I'm also just not doing a great job of not getting the ghost right clicks. That's an ult that he actually did a pretty good job there of making it, you know, dodgeable. Torvald again there with the ult. That's the same play he's done like 3 other times, and it worked again. He got 2 of them off. Props to him, man. He's actually doing work here. I think that was a different sound effect that I thought was another Torvald ultimate, but theirs is already gone. That broke my brain for a second there. Really am just spamming the shots here, getting right clicks in, trying to heal 3 people if I can, although kind of hitting the mark and being a little bit more efficient with it would maybe be better. it's not really possible for me to track that right now. We're going to go in, right-click the Canessa. There we go. Heals on the other two as well. Do feel like the Canessa here is the weakest link. I think Torvald's doing his job. I think Buck's doing his job. Fury is also kind of doing a hybrid thing here, but I don't feel like we have enough damage from Canessa. There's a big right-click, to be honest. Really solid ultimate. Like I said, I do like Corvus ult quite a bit. We did lose that team fight just about, but it really wouldn't have mattered. We were like 100 behind nearly at the end there, or maybe more. I can't remember if it was 275 or 325, but overall a much better game and a much better showcase for Corvus there. We had nearly 100k. We also had 41k damage. I think that was more of what you can expect with him if you're in an average sort of scenario in the first game. It's a much rougher one. Canessa did fine, but I think she could have done quite a bit better. A lot of that damage, I think, is just tick damage from the mindset she was trying to run. Props to her for that, though. Buck did work. Torvald did work. Fury could have definitely done a bit better there as well. But yeah, that's everything I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see me do next. I'll see you guys all really, really soon. And as always, stay FrostFangs.